Hi everybody. Whenever you plan to purchase the earbuds, especially the true wireless earbuds, there is a high chance you bought a Boat product. Such is their influence in Indian TWS market, and every 1 in 3 products sold is a Boat product. On top of that, the revenue of the company has crossed 1500 crores in FY21 and its profit margin surged more than 61%. Now considering that Boat has filed a paper for IPO, we need to understand how Boat became incredibly successful in beating the likes of audio giants like Sony and JBL and popular brands like Redmi and Realme, when these brands had the perfect recipe for success with brand recognition and ecosystem of products. On September 7, 2016, at an Apple special event, Apple introduced its new line of audio products called the Earbuds, and at the same event, Apple announced that they would also remove the headphone jack from their latest iPhone. Initially, companies like Samsung mocked this idea of Apple for removing the headphone jack. But soon enough, not having a headphone jack became so popular as people caught up with the wireless craze and AirPods was selling like hotcakes. And Samsung itself had to remove the headphone jack. Coincidentally, at the same period of time, even budget brands like Redmi stopped shipping earphones in the box. This created a huge market for hearable products in India. While all this was happening, there was one brand that became the opportunist and made the most out of it, and that's none other than Boat brand founded by Aman Gupta. Back in 2017, when everyone were caught up with the wireless craze, most of them did not want to spend 10 to 15,000 just for a pair of earbuds, as smartphone itself costed around 15,000 at that time. People were looking for cheap and reliable product below 2K, and this segment was not addressed by any major company as bigger players like Sony and JBL were busy in competition with AirPods, and the products available below 2K were completely a mess with copy products and unrecognizable brands. But this was not the case in China. Chinese OEM manufacturers had already seen the potential of this market, and they were producing high quality products at third cheap price. For people who don't understand what OEM is, it refers to original equipment manufacturer, and as the name suggests, these are the companies that manufacture the products. OEMs do everything from design to finished product, and companies like Boat just buy the license agreement and ask to stamp their brand name on the product. And in a sense, Boat is just a value-added reseller who is branding and selling OEM products. But this is a win-win situation for both companies. Boat, being a startup company, need to spend little to no money in design and fabrication, thus saving a tons of money in R&D and manufacturing, while OEM companies have ready-made customers available for their product. But any brand could have done this, right? Then how did Boat become so successful? And this is where power of celebrity endorsing comes in. In 2018, Boat partnered with Hardik Pandya and started advertising aggressively. They also sponsored many IPL teams, and soon enough they became a popular brand. They also worked with music sensations like Neha Kakkar, AP Dhillon, Kiara Advani to get a perceived value on the brand that they were the best sounding earbuds. For people who don't understand what a perceived brand value is, whenever you order food online, you order food based on the ratings given by other people, hoping that your experience would be as good as theirs. Because you can't go to every restaurant, taste the food to see which is the best. Similarly, for an untrained ear, we can't spot the difference in sound quality, and most of the earbuds are manufactured in same OEM, so naturally we go with the brand that has the higher perceived value. This made Boat such a successful company. Everything looks too good to be true, and we might come to the conclusion that Boat is one of the best startups that India has ever seen, and would be a goldmine in upcoming years, and we should all be invested in this company, right? This is where, ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you the story of Micromax. Back in 2010, when the smartphone revolution started with the iPhone, phones from Samsung and Apple were very expensive. Once again, people did not want to spend a fortune on a smartphone. This created a huge market for cheap smartphones in India. And just like Boat, Micromax here became an opportunist and started working with Chinese OEMs like the BBK Electronics, where BBK Electronics did all the research and development and manufacturing, while Micromax did the branding and selling of the products. With their famous campaign Nothing Like Anything and celebrity endorsements like Akshay Kumar and Twinkle Khanna, Micromax at 2014 had the largest market share in Indian smartphone market, even surpassing Samsung just like we have Boat today. Little did the Micromax know that their own manufacturer would be their biggest threat. At the same year, BBK Electronics, who used to do contract manufacturing for Micromax, directly entered the Indian market with their Vivo brand, seeing their success of their smartphones sold in India. This was a big blow to Micromax. BBK Electronics, with their huge margin for seller scheme and advertising, sold their phones like hotcakes to length and breadth of India under Oppo and Vivo branding. In a desperate move to counter this threat, Micromax made a partnership with Cyanogen Inc. to bring Eureka smartphones to Indian market, which was sold exclusively online, and they planned to capture the online market. It became a successful model in India, and Eureka was selling like hotcakes in 2015. But this success was short-lived as Xiaomi entered India with their Redmi line of smartphones, and rest we all know it. Micromax was shattered at this point, having no manufacturing plant, research and development to fight against the giants like BBK Electronics and Xiaomi. And the final nail in the coffin for Micromax was when BBK Electronics acquired Cyanogen Inc., the maker of Eureka smartphones and Cyanogen OS, and started making OnePlus smartphones with Cyanogen OS. Even though Micromax had ample amount of cash with profits they made at this time, they had no capacity to design their own product and collapsed like a house of cards, from being a market leader in 2014 to having less than 5% market share in 2016. So if you follow the case study of Micromax closely, you will understand that Boat is on the same trajectory, but there are few factors that are helping Boat today. Most earbuds sound the same, and there is no big innovation that's happening in earphone market. Secondly, for a common man like you and me, we can easily tell the difference between smartphones by testing their camera, performance and display quality, but it is very hard to tell the difference between the earbuds, and Boat understands this very well and tunes their earphones to be bass heavy and markets the same. So before applying for the Boat IPO, keep these things in mind and also make your own research and let us know in the comments who is the OEM manufacturer for Boat, and are they planning to enter India or already they have entered India. Also, keep a close eye on Chinese companies like Anker that are directly competing against Boat with superior quality products, and Boat's future plans to do R&D and manufacturing in India. That's it guys for this video. If you have learned something valuable, hit that like button, subscribe and stay tuned for more such interesting video. Thank you.